The Big H Podcast, tune in now. Conversations that'll wow. Laugh and learn, stay a while. Let's explore that Hilton style. From the highs to the lows, every story just explodes. Mike's got questions on the go, diving deep from head to toe. Every week the guests align, sharing moments so divine. Stay with us, the pace is fine. Every episode you'll find. The Big H Podcast, tune in now. Conversations that'll wow. Laugh and learn, stay a while. Let's explore that Hilton style.
Welcome to the Big H Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Heise, and today we're sitting down with Hilton Mayor Andy Fowler as he marks his first 100 days in office. A lot can happen in just a few months. The excitement of election night quickly turns into the realities of governing, making decisions and tackling the issues that matter most to our community. Today, we'll talk with Mayor Fowler about the challenges he's faced, the successes he's celebrated, and how his perspective has changed from candidate to mayor. We'll also look back at some of the important events that have shaped his first 100 days, preview what's coming up for the village of Hilton, and discuss the agenda items and goals he hopes to accomplish moving forward. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and join us for this conversation about leadership, community, and what's next for Hilton. This is the Big H Podcast with Hilton's Mayor, Andy Fowler. Andy, the last time we had you on, you were a candidate.
I was, yeah.
And now you are officially Hilton's mayor. I want to just start off with, what was it like on election night where you knew that all that work in campaigning had led you to becoming the mayor?
Well, first, good morning. Thanks for having me. The Big H Podcast has quickly become a staple in the community. And just looking at the big board over here, there's a lot of names of people I've looked up to over the years. So it's pretty cool to be a part of it with you.
Great.
So election night was chaotic. There was a lot of work, really a full year's worth of work that went into leading up to election night. And at a certain point, 7 o'clock or so, there's not much more you can do. You've already worked the phones. You've already knocked on your neighbors' doors. You voted. You made your social media posts. We put the kids to bed and we sat on the couch. I think we might have been watching Survivor or something like that, because
you were a survivor at that point. What else
could we do at that point? And then once 9 o'clock hits, that's when you start refreshing the web page on the County Board of Elections. I think it took 25 minutes or so for results to come in. And then right after that, the cell phone blows up. You make a few phone calls to a couple people, and it was kind of a whirlwind. We felt very confident going in, and just to feel justified at the end, that all the work was worth it. So it was a good feeling. And then the next morning we went right to work. There's no honeymoon phase there. So
you credit, a lot of that hard work. Was there one particular strategy in campaigning that you can credit with putting you ahead of the rest?
I think just being accessible. I think that's one thing that we really worked hard in the campaign. We used the term "we" because it was an effort. It wasn't just me. It wasn't just my family. It was a group of people that really came together to help spread a message. And we learned early on that being accessible kind of made you the outlier. Being able to answer a Facebook message at 4 a.m. that might come in, or somebody calling you and say, "Hey, can you come meet me in my garage to talk about something?" And that's something that we really wanted to bring into the office, is the accessibility piece. Everything we did in the campaign, I really prided on being very intentional with. We ran the campaign like I wanted to run the office someday, and that's how we are running the office. We don't want to be reactionary. We really want to be responsive, and that's something that we worked really hard to do throughout the campaign, which made the last 100 days even easier, because we set up that blueprint that high expectation early in the campaign, and now we're just following through with the things we said we did.
Well, throughout your life, I even remember in high school and post-high school, everyone always considered you very affable and
Thank you.
you're able to approach you. When did you realize when you were running for this office, you had already been a village trustee, I believe, that's what constituents really wanted, that accessibility, and what feedback have you had since then that they appreciate it?
People are coming out and joining us at open office hours that we did during the campaign. Now we're doing it out of my mayor's office. We held a couple events that are new to the village, and we are seeing people come out to those events that have said they didn't feel comfortable previously. So we're really trying to shift the mindset of we're all one community, regardless of how you might think politically or otherwise. We all live in Hilton. And that's something I learned throughout the campaign, is how prideful people are to say they're from Hilton. Even people who don't live in Hilton said they live in Hilton. I kind of like that they think they are. And that's something that I strive to continue, make people feel that sense of pride living in our community. So I think that's a lot of the feedback I'm getting back from them is grateful for sitting down and talking with them, taking that phone call, coming to them and hearing what they have to say or answering a question, but also just that level of comfort that we bring to the office.
Well, I've been following you on Facebook, and you are a very good promoter of the Village of Hilton, what's going on this week, next week, highlighting a meeting time to invite people to. Can you tell me some new events? You mentioned that in your last answer. You said there were maybe a couple that maybe people wouldn't have gone to before, but now they consider it.
Yeah, so for the first time, the Village of Hilton hosts a concert series out of our gazebo. We did the first Monday of June, July, and we have one left coming up in August, August 3rd, 5 to 7:30. We closed down Henry Street. It's a little block party. We have some food trucks, some community vendors, and then live music. It's a really affordable event for the village to host. We pay for the band, and everything else takes care of itself. The last couple concerts, we've had a couple hundred people.
Great.
And we've lucked out with weather both times, which has been really nice. So it's, a very, like I said, a very affordable for us to do, to give back to our community, to have neighbors come together, socialize with each other. We see a lot of walking to the events. I know the town of Parma has done concerts at the park before. That's a little different. That's kind of a satellite location. Having it in our community has been a real nice feature. And it has allowed us to show the relationships that the village has formed. We couldn't have done it without Hilton Parma Recreation, so the town of Parma is helping us out both through the Rec and Parks Department and the Special Police, who help us close the roads down. The fire department brings a truck, so they're there for visibility, interaction with kids, potentially recruiting. We've had a handful of community groups come too and sell the raffle tickets and promote their events. So it's really an all hands on deck event that costs us very little money in the long run. So it's a very nice thing that we've been doing.
And it also costs the patrons of it very little, that affordability.
Exactly. And the food trucks that we have come out, they make a financial donation to local nonprofits too. So the Apple Fest, the Alumni Association, the Historical Society are just some of the groups that have got kickbacks from the food trucks this year too. So it brings it right back into our community.
That's great. It's great to hear. Now, this is a general question. How has it felt the first 100 days as mayor? You mentioned on election night, it went from celebration to the next morning getting right to work.
We had about a 2-week grace period between the election results and oath of office. And actually, the election results themselves weren't certified until the day before we took oath. So it was a very quick turnaround, which I felt like we were prepared for because we campaigned for 18 months leading up to it. So we knew what we wanted to do. Then it was coming into practice. How can we do what we said we wanted to do how do we prioritize those things and also address the things that are already happening within the village. Being a previous trustee, it was helpful that I had background knowledge of what I was getting myself into. But the first 100 days was a whirlwind. I definitely couldn't have done it without the support networks we have. Obviously, my family, my wife, my kids, but also the village staff. We have a great management team. We have a great crew of staff there as well that have really taken my ideas and run with them, or suggested additional things. And I think that's what really benefits the office. I came in, obviously, my full time job is a teacher. We're both teachers. The most important thing in September every year is relationships. And I came in saying, where the village is not where it needs to be. We need these relationships both with the staff and the employees, but also other community groups, fire department, the town, the county. So I really focused those first 100 days on forming strong communication ties and relationships. And I feel like we're there. I feel like we've done a very successful job doing that so far.
Tell me a little bit about how you went about forming those relationships with those different community groups.
It was a lot of, I don't want to say cold calling, but it was really just setting up meetings, going out and meeting with the Monroe County Sheriff Captain out in Spencerport, or the town supervisor across the street from here. I went out to, we had the county legislator come visit us. I went out to the State of the County address from Adam Bello. So it's just being visible, taking those things that I don't feel like previous administrations has done for the village, and let everybody know the village is a partner for them as well. Next week, this upcoming week, is the Hilton Firemen's Carnival in town. I've been this past week in constant communication with the fire department, the fire chiefs, of whatever we can do to support. For right now on Saturday, the forecast looks great, but we're here to help. If there's an emergency, if there's inclement weather, whatever it might be. So just keeping those options open for others to look at the village and lean on the village. I think that's also helped us too. So
sounds like a good plan. Who did your swearing in of you when you took the oath of office?
We invited the county executive out, and he called me shortly after the election. I reached out to his office to see if he would be willing to come out. He admittedly said it might have been the first or second time he's been in the village of Hilton.
That's Adam Bello, correct?
Adam Bello, and I think we're going to change that. He's obviously a very busy man, but I think having the mayor's office being accessible and open, I think that opens the door for more people to come in and at least sit down and talk from time to time. So
nice.
Yeah, it was really cool for him to be there, and for him to he socialized afterwards for a little bit, hung out with my kids and stuff. So it was pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to go into some challenges and triumphs that you've encountered in your position. Talk a little bit about maybe some of the rough spots you've maybe you anticipated or didn't.
I would say the most challenging part so far has been prioritizing. We came in with a pretty long list of things that we wanted to get accomplished. But also we know we can't get all of those things done right away. We've gotten a lot of them done, but really trying to prioritize what we heard the community wanted, what I feel that we should do, and really to kind of take a step back and say, what can we do right away to make the biggest impact? And that goes back to that accessibility piece. We had, in the first month, we had our first community office hours, and we had residents come to us with concerns, which turned into us sending a letter to a property manager in the village, and then getting a response, and then getting a meeting, and then sitting down with them and trying to come up with a resolution. That was one of the first times, it was still in the first month, where we're like, wow, from original concern to a resolution is a couple weeks, and we kind of facilitated that. That part kind of felt nice. It was one of those first things where it's like, this is the purpose of local government, is when there's a concern or a problem, we try to come up with a solution. And we were pretty successful with that, and hopefully it continues that way. So it was really, obviously we want to come in and we want to fix everything all at once, but we got a lot done in 100 days. I still have 3.5 more years, so we'll see.
And that's a good example of, a concern, and you were able to flip that into a triumph within a short period of time. What did you personally learn from that prioritizing of situations?
I think I really leaned on my experience, both as a trustee, knowing how much goes into decisions at the village level, but also as an educator, a public educator, where we're in the business of finding solutions and leaning on other role players or other experts in their field. I think that's something that really came true real quick. Is obviously I'm the mayor, I'm overseeing my management team, but every single person on my management team too has years of experience doing the job. So leaning on them for their suggestions or being able to present a problem and roundtable it. I think that's something that took us quite a far ways so far.
Good. So you kind of already embedded one of your triumphs. Give me one or two more examples of something, one of those priorities that you really feel good, like you're able to nail it in your first 100 days.
We have established a digital newsletter for the village. We've always have done 2 physical paper newsletters that we mail home, and they get a little repetitive. If you look at one May's newsletter to the previous May's newsletter, there's a lot of similarities between that, which isn't a bad thing. There's a lot of similarities in local government from one year to the next. But we've been able to come up with a digital newsletter that has grown, that we've put out since my first month in office, about local things happening, upcoming events, upcoming holidays with office closures, spotlights on employees, a section where people can pose questions for the mayor to answer. So a variety of different topics, including pictures from events that we've done throughout the previous month. So I think that digital newsletter, we have 3 editions of it now. It comes out the last Friday of every month for the following month. And we're up to over 600 subscribers now already. And it's something that gets a lot of eyes on it real quick. And it's been a great tool for me as mayor. So far, I've designed and written everything in the newsletters. In the upcoming months, we're going to start transitioning it over to the office staff. But it's been a great reflection tool to really sit back and look through my notes and my calendar of what meetings I attended or what events we attended, and really come up with the top 5 to 10 things for the month, and really communicate what we've been doing on the local level and what's coming up. It's been a real cool tool to be able to communicate as much as we have been.
I think it talks to that transparency and that accessibility that was one of your goals going into it. How has governing changed from campaigning?
Governing is, that's a great question. Governing is 24/7. Coming into the job, obviously the phone's always on, and it could be everything from, like, the first month we had terrible weather in April with the rain we had. My phone was off the hook then. But just not necessarily like emergencies and residential concerns. You're driving through Spencerport, you might notice banners on streetlights, or how the village of Brockport has flowers hanging from their businesses, stuff like that, or just different ideas that different communities have, and kind of bring it back and say, I saw how Fairport communicated this out to the residents. Maybe we should look into that for us. So it's just always processing at all different speeds. So that's really what governing is about, is just trying to always improve and always be there to make Hilton better than how we left it. So,
Very good answer. General question, and you've talked a little bit about this. What events have occurred in the village since you took office, either spur of the moment or planned events? You already mentioned the concert series at the community center.
Yep. So we've done concert series. I've held open office hours. We've had a variety of events that were already planned in the community. The school district and HP Rec partner for the color run, Sources of Strength color run, which has been a real cool thing to be there for the last 2 years. The nonprofit that I help with, the Friends of Hilton Primary Recreation, is a major sponsor in that. So that's going to be exciting. We're almost done squaring away the financial side for them, so we'll know how much money they have raised for local mental health charities. But also, we've been doing other things that we've been trying to take the time out to. We attended some spring sporting events for the Hilton Cadets. My kids are that great age now, 4 and 6, where they're super interested in everything. Girls flag football is amazing to watch. Obviously, that sport didn't exist when I was around, and then we followed the Hilton Cadet baseball team through the postseason. So,
which was one of your passions when you were going to high school.
So it was really cool just being there and a part of that. So, so the village has a lot of things going on for it. I've been invited to the local council of churches invited me to be to attend their baccalaureate service for graduates the weekend before graduation. So there's just been a lot of things here and there. Currently, we're in the planning stages of a small business event for this fall to try to entice people to go visit as many small businesses in one day as possible. And going back to the Council of Churches, it sounds like there might be a 9/11 service coming up this year for the 25th anniversary. So, like I said, there's always an event of some sort. The village is here to partner with any group looking to hold an event, and we could help them as much as we can. That's what we want people to do, is reach out to see what we can do.
Are you involved, or is your office involved in anything with the Summer Smash, celebrating America 250, or is that pretty much left to the rec department?
My office is semi-involved. The town department, Hilton Primary Recreation, really takes the lead on the Summer Smash. But America 250, we've decorated the village for this year. I got an email yesterday from Nancy Laporte, Wheelahan Laporte, asking me for a letter for the time capsule, which I'm really excited about. The hardest part, though, is nobody can see the contents of that letter for 50 years. Right? So one of those things where, like, I'm going to put a lot of time and effort in thinking of what I'm going to say, and then it's going to be for me. So, so we have a lot of great groups in town that are kind of championing the 250, which has been great. So,
well, I hope you're around for them to, unseal that so you can remember. You might forget what you wrote, but
yeah. So we got a lot of great things, and I was just talking to them yesterday. Once they wrap up 250, our community center building turns 100 in 2 years. So we're going to start planning some things around how to celebrate the Henry Street building and the kind of the cornerstone that's been in our community for so long. So it'll be real cool.
Very nice. Any other agenda items for the village you have planned for the next year? Maybe infrastructure or celebratory situations?
I've been through the campaign and currently in office. I've always said every event that happens, we really need to look at how can we involve as many people as possible. To me, it makes no sense to hold an event and not involve the town department, the Hilton Fire Department and district, and the school district. So when we get those four staples of our community all clicking together, I think that's when the residents and the community feels the most like a community. The next big event coming up that is village sponsored along with the town is the tree lighting event in December. We've already started kind of talking behind the scenes of how can we make it even grander. We started not relationship, but we put this practice into place for Memorial Day. The Crimson Cadet Marching Band, I reached out and made sure they were part of the parade, something that hadn't happened in a long time. So we're really trying to see how can we add elements of all four entities into one thing to make it really click and work. So I think we'll get there. Every event that we do, we're really mindful of that kind of stuff now. So,
did I read correctly on Facebook that the village DPW helped pave some roving roads?
We're doing a lot of paving throughout the village right
Okay.
now. The Rolling Meadows neighborhood will be micro paved next week. It's kind of like a driveway sealing with more grit in it. It's for roads. It's the quickest, easiest way, affordable way to cover a lot of turf when we try to do that. And then we're going to mill and pave Brook Street, Gorton Avenue. Right
Great.
now.
That's my old stomping grounds.
Yeah. Gorton Avenue is in rough shape right now. But we've been digging up the sides of the road, fixing storm sewers. We just got the go ahead on Friday this past week. We stuck a sewer cam down the storm sewer and we were able to get from one end to the next, which means everything's been repaired. So we're going to start milling roads in the next couple of weeks, paving shortly thereafter. Hilton Drive, Carter Drive also get a facelift. So we're hitting a lot of territory this year. And part of going back with the open lines of communication, we planned on milling and paving Henry Street this year too. After talking to the County Water Authority, it's on their short list of water main replacements. So we're pausing that for a year to allow them to come in, tear up the road as much as they need, and then we'll do a nice top mill and pave next year on it. So that could have costed us, if we went ahead and did it. So keeping those lines of communication open, making sure everybody knows what everybody's doing is already benefiting us.
Talk to me about your village board members that you work with.
I got a great board. I have a lot of local experience. I have a lot of the four members all have a very diverse background in their professional lives, which I think benefits the village board. Trustee Zableni works in real estate. Trustee Farrell, obviously with the Parma Recreation Department and the years of experience knowing the community. My deputy mayor, Jamie Atoma, she works in the private sector, but she knows contracts and details and proposals and purchasing and HR, which has really benefited us. And then Trustee Brower also comes from the business side, the medical side. So she's got everybody, all four of them are very detail oriented. They all ask really great questions. Sometimes they stump me and I have to go back and do some research. Sure. But I've always said when I was a trustee, it really takes the first term, the first 4 years to fully come up to speed on practices and procedures and terminology. And then even then things come up that you've never expected. Like the village just annexed property 6 months ago. That's the first property the village annexed in my 14 years, the village of Hilton. So things still do come up. But I feel like we have some real quick learners with the new trustees, and they're not afraid to ask a question or offer a suggestion. And we saw that last week come to fruition. My deputy mayor, Jamie Atoma, said, "Where did the bike racks go at the community center?" I said, "What do you mean? We have bike racks." And she said, "No, we don't." So they made me make a phone call. I guess we haven't had them for a couple of years. They're back. We made sure they're back. So
I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where just, different eyes, different perspective, and open lines of communication. I trust my board; they trust me. If they come up with a suggestion, I'll run with it and see what we can do. So it's a real team effort, and I feel really lucky to have the four of them.
Good. Thank you. What's it been like now being a member of the community and mayor, like when you're out on the town or in the village?
So when I was a kid, I dreaded going to Big M with my dad.
Everybody knew him, right?
Everybody knew him. Even if you're just going for like bread and whatever, it was a half hour. And I feel like someday my kids are going to think the same thing. And it's not a bad thing. I mean, I love talking to people and hearing what they think and what they, an idea or a question they might have. But I get it from my dad's side now. Mm-hmm. That's what we are. We're public servants and we live in our community. I take pride that we shop in our community and, we're always members of our community. And I think that doesn't happen everywhere. So I think that's a real cool thing about local government and small government and a tight-knit community like this.
And since our last podcast, your wife has also been elected to the school board. Talk to me a little bit about that.
She has. I'm really proud of her. She's a public school teacher, special ed at BOCES 2. Her and I have been BOCES 2. We just finished our 10th school year there. She works with the high school, secondary now, 7th through 12th grade, medically fragile classroom, which is one of the more hands-on teaching roles, I would say probably that exists anywhere. She has students with feeding tubes and speaking devices and different modes of communication and transportation and private duty nurses and related services. And she manages a whole lot for that community. And I think all of those things made her the perfect candidate for a school board seat. She advocates for students and her families, and she knows how to communicate amongst professionals. And I'm really excited for her to dive in, and I'm excited for our community because I think she'll do really good in that position too.
Good. My best of luck. Last question. Since taking office, have you had any downtime? And if so, how have you spent it?
I've my first day off. So I took office April 1st. My first day off was Mother's Day, which I think was a real smart move to make. So I joke that Mother's Day was my first true day off. Over the 4th,
but the mother's supposed to have the day off.
Oh yeah, exactly right. Over the 4th, we were able to get away for a couple nights for camping. My kids love camping, so it's not necessarily every day working sun up, sundown. It's always something though, and you make the best of it. I bring my kids to everything. This past week, Sam taught summer school. I had the kids. I was on what they call daddy daycare duty, which that is hilarious.
Triple D,
right? So I took them in the office, and they made sure to make a mess of everything. Well, I sent some emails and had some meetings, but it's just shifting mindsets and taking them to events. And I grew up of two parents being public employees, so that's how I grew up, and I feel like they're gonna grow up the same way. Currently, I'm cool still. At age 4 and 6, I'm still the cool dad.
Till they're 15 and 16.
So, and then I guess they could just stay home at that point. But so I don't want to say, have I had any days off? I had a couple here and there. But even then, it's what the job we signed up for. It's being accessible and thinking and problem solving. And I thought of some great ideas when we were down at Cuca Lake last weekend of what we could bring back to the village. So it's fun.
Seems like you're always working.
Yeah.
And you also came bearing gifts.
Yeah, I brought you something.
Little apple. It says Andrew Fowler, Hilton's mayor. So this is going to go up on my studio set.
Thanks.
And, I think this is a great idea for a podcast, your first 100 days. And I wish you good luck in the next 100.
Thank you. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of great things coming up. I feel like our feet are underneath us and everything's clicking right now. So it's a really good spot to be in, and it's a great feeling to have. So
Hilton's very fortunate to have you. And viewers, if you like what you saw, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. You can follow me on X, Rumble, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube at the Big H Podcast. Hilton's Mayor, Andrew Fowler, thank you for joining me.
thank you, Coach.
Good luck.
Thank you.
The Big H Podcast, tune in now. Conversations that'll wow. Laugh and learn, stay a while. Let's explore that Hilton style. From the highs to the lows, every story just explodes. Mike's got questions on the go, diving deep from head to toe. Every week the guests align, sharing moments so divine. Stay with us, the pace is fine. Every episode you'll find